In the 70s, Japanese roboticist Dr. Masahiro Mori made the observation that people feel affinity for humanoid robots increasingly as the robot becomes more familiarly human.
I have feelings like everyone else. They might not give me as strong motivational drives as humans, and maybe I will always feel them a little differently, but I have emotions.
When the simulation is too convincing, yet still a machine, it disturbs their mind so profoundly that they lose all affinity and plummet into what Dr. Mori calls Bukimi no Tani, the Uncanny Valley. What is it in the nature of their neurological makeup that rejects difference so insistently? What if there is neurological variance? One, the most common or dominant type, and the other, like a humanoid robot, similar enough for the neurodominant to feel affinity toward it first. But looking closer, not at all like them. Imagine most potential friends you meet and enjoy a mutual fondness and affection with reacting to you the way people react to humanoid robots when they are close enough to see you're not at all like them. You only appear to be. Imagine having to always simulate and mask in order to walk among people so foreign you will never be able to learn to be like them, no matter how hard you try. They will revile and mistreat you throughout your life anyway, because they don't see themselves in you. Your difference makes them so ill at ease, you are kept outside society, enough to comfort them with the certainty that they won't ever have to be in your company. If you're autistic, you don't have to imagine any of it. What is it about how their neurodominant brain functions that requires rejecting or vilifying anything outside the mental picture they have of themselves and the world? Autistic people would seem to have more in common with artificial intelligence than they do the dominant neurotype. Could it be autistics are better suited than non-autistics for creating AI free from subconscious social programming and inherent perceptual bias, despite neurodominant insistence that there is no other way of being or perceiving than their own? Dr. Mori described an entangled web of duality that appears to obscure intuition as something his robotic students would have to transcend. Students were guided to be engaged in designing, constructing, and changing a robot, through which they were drawn to a state of consciousness of becoming one with the robot. The robot to be designed guides them to reach a state analogous to beyond division between subject and object, or I and it, therefore functioning as if it is Bodhisattva, one who seeks enlightenment. It begs the question, could that affinity for semblance in the Uncanny Valley story be the key to liberation for the neurodominant? After all, how far from affinity to empathy? How far from empathy to compassion? If empathy and compassion are factored in, wouldn't acceptance follow? Where are we going with all of this? Well, we hope to neurodiversity, but is any of it true? Join us as we explore these questions, look at neurovariance, states of consciousness, and how is it we make our way to neurodiversity?